Hello and welcome to another edition of Stockwatch. So shares of Alibaba climbed over the past few days, along with other Chinese stocks, as the Wall Street Journal reported the Chinese tech giant will no longer be added to the Pentagon Blacklist. The Department of Defense has identified a dozen Chinese companies that claim support Chinese military and intelligence operations, and the Trump administration has imposed a ban on owning such stocks, set to take place in November. But after a debate with the Treasury Department recently, which feared economic fallout from including one of China's biggest tech companies, Alibaba will no longer be put on the list. So the stock rose by 5% yesterday, but not many details were published through the Wall Street Journal, though it was that another 9 companies that the Pentagon had identified would be added to the blacklist is not going to happen now. So this news comes as the Trump administration is trying to wrap up all their policies and everything whilst they're in their last week of office. Well, hopefully their last week anyway, as the inauguration comes closer and also the pending impeachment happens as well. So it also removes one significant cloud over Alibaba stock, as shares have failed in the last few months. The Chinese government seemingly fixated on revenge against Alibaba's founder after he made derogatory remarks about a government officials at a October conference. So they first blocked the IPO of the Ant Group, which is Alibaba's former financial arm, and last month announced an antitrust investigation among Alibaba. So the founder has also reported as missing since he hasn't made any public appearances since October, but other sources have said he's just lying low to avoid further public scrutiny. So the Trump administration has been particularly hawkish towards China trade and other areas, with Biden looking to take over control. But apparently the American administration in general still sees China as a bit of a competitor and a rival. So the news is unquestionably positive for Alibaba investments, while the stock has suppressed until the antitrust investigation is resolved. So looking at the business itself, the e-commerce titan seems to be one of the best stocks to look into at the moment. So let's just take a look at the stock in general. So I've got it on a daily chart at the moment, and as you can see, it was in a nice ascending channel up until November, when we had all the antitrust issues and all the other goings on in the headlines, and now we've seen a particular move downwards for the stock. So let's just zoom in to get a better perspective. And what I can see at the moment is we've had this big long arm of a gap on the opening on the 29th of December, over the Christmas period, and then on the 29th of December, when we got more news of the blacklisting to come into play, then stocks actually took more of a tumble. But recently, as you can see, there's been some positive momentum moving on the upside, as we see prices trying to get back to where they were. I'm not looking at prices going lower than the recent dip, roughly about $211, $210. So I'm looking at prices to start pushing higher now. And if the market open is kind today for Alibaba, then we'll see a bit more of a push to the upside. And I just want to take a look at the intraday levels at the moment. So I'm not really looking on momentum or stochastics at the moment. I'm just looking at purely financial headline driven. And what we can see intraday at the moment is that prices are just clinging onto the Ichimoku cloud, which means that on a good open for the price, we could see engulfment and then a move up to $260, which is where the big gap happened recently. So we had this gap here of 255 to 227. So it's more than it's more than plausible, let's say, that a gap to the upside and a push to the upside can happen within the next couple of trading days by the end of the week. So I'll just be looking at this as a top. So if prices start moving high, for example, towards the 250 range, then there'll be a nice buy trade to be put in to take some profits, and this will be the next target for that. So if it breaks 245, I'll be looking to put a buy in up until around the 255 mark, and then possibly push into 260 in the next couple of trading sessions. So that's all from the Stockwatch today. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have any comments or questions, as usual, please feel free to add them to the post, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great trading day ahead, and bye for now.